At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
I'm doing everything I can. Now stop calling me Shirley.
The center has to be at least 3 times bigger than this.
All right, it's another edition of Sincerely Unqualified after a 2-week break that we did not plan. We actually recorded, I think that we said it at the end of our last episode, but we recorded 2 weeks worth of content and then
slight miscommunication.
A little snafu, as they say. Yeah.
Well,
I was on my honeymoon, and I'll be honest with you, there wasn't an easy way for me to get audio to Winnie for him to mix it up, but hey, listen. We live and we learn. We're sorry that we just didn't communicate it either. We probably could have posted on our Instagram or something if you follow us there. If not, hey, we're back and we are excited to be back. And we're also excited for a little announcement because you might have seen in the episode title, it looks a little different. After this break, we have decided we're actually going to change the format a little bit. We're going to stop just deep diving into comedy movies. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on some news pieces first. So whether it's movies or comedy, sometimes comedy movies, we're going to try to focus on that stuff. Obviously, that's our bread and butter. But, you know, with movie releases starting again, we're huge Marvel guys. We're huge Star Wars guys. We're into current movies, and we want to talk about them. So we think that some of that news is interesting, but we're obviously big comedy fans, so we're going to keep some of that going too. We're going to stay true to the Sincerely Unqualified way.
We still think comedy is our main, we love
our
it.
Zone.
It's our
zone
range.
for sure.
It's our range. We stay in that range, but we can also venture. We try new things. We go down this path, and we see where it takes us because we love everything. But we love comedy. Yeah, we love everything. But we love comedy movies. We love, reading about what's happening in the industry, though. Because there's so many exciting things coming down the pipeline that now that everything's starting to kind of pick back up again and there's not these random-ass releases on Netflix or on Hulu every other week.
No one knows about.
Yeah, literally okay, you're going to drop another documentary about the 1960s? Come on, give me something real. Give me something I can bite into. Also, there is one movie that I saw that's going to come out, and it has
Free Guy?
Leo in it. No, also that. Free Guy looks great. But it's got Leo. It's got everybody in it. I forget who the director is, but I got to look because it's
about
on
the
Netflix.
Scorsese movie?
The Scorsese movie.
It's
on Netflix.
Knights of the Flower Moon or something?
No. It's
well,
not
it's something
that
about
one.
a flower moon and with Scorsese.
You know who it's with? It's the director who did The Big Short. And who did a ton of stuff that we already reviewed. Yeah, Adam McKay is doing a Leo film.
McKay has a new movie coming out?
Yeah, did you not hear about this?
Okay, well, this is going to be our first news piece.
It's called Don't Look Up, and it looks unbelievable. They released basically when Netflix did their whole year-long thing, where they did that basically year in advance.
That's right.
They released the last thing was an Adam McKay movie. It was basically Leo. It's Jennifer Lawrence.
Timothy Chalamet,
Kate Jonah Hill, Kate Blanchett, Ron Perlman, Ariana Grande, Meryl Streep. Okay. Meryl Streep is in this.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
So
it can't be bad. It can't be bad.
This is going to be way, way up my alley.
Yeah. I got to say, it looks hilarious. Like Jonah Hill, from the trailer, you can't tell what Jonah Hill is, but he's basically, it looks like he works in the White House, and Leo looks like this disheveled researcher or whoever, and they're meeting, and Jonah Hill just can't stop nervously laughing. And that scene alone got me insanely excited for this movie. Besides the fact that I've seen articles that are Adam McKay is basically saying, I don't know why Leo chose to work with me. He's like, why would he do this? How did this come together? I
want to see what angle he's taking on it, but I mean that was a little a little sideways way of explaining what we're going to be doing. Obviously we're going to be talking news. It's going to be succinct though. We're going to focus on probably 4 news stories. And then we're also going to be touching
Kid
on
Cudi's
movies.
In it too.
Scott Viscutti, you mean? Give him the actor name, please, sir.
I'm sorry. No, okay. And Matthew Perry. Sorry for all those fans who are waiting for it.
That's just a stacked cast.
I don't understand. Netflix probably said, "Here's $2 billion. Get whoever you
Yes.
want and make it good,
Yeah.
please."
So obviously, like we said, the news stories, because I mean things are going to be coming out, and we like talking about them. I think especially me, I like that format, just talking through things that are happening, because that's kind of how we started out with the Lost tapes. Then we started focusing on comedy
Yep.
movies, because I mean, what else were we going to do? But now things that are coming out, things like the Suicide Squad that we're touching on today. Any big movies we want to talk about. If not, we'll probably talk about a comedy movie. Like we mentioned already, Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. Gonna be an awesome movie. We're gonna talk about that one. But so the format's always gonna be some news going on, and then a movie. Probably a very new one, something that you can watch. You can hear our takes with it, and we can kind of have the experience together. You can let us know what you thought about the movies, and we'll kind of hopefully build this nice community.
Exactly. So first one is Casablanca. I hope you're ready for it.
Any noir films,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow.
We're going to be taking a deep dive into classic cinema.
Oh, absolutely. All right. What's up next? Any Marlon Brando flicks out recently?
Dude, honestly, Marlon Brando is one of those actors that I know that would be like a default of, think of a classic actor. Old time.
Yeah, Marlon Brando.
I can't say I've
Exactly.
ever seen a movie with Marlon Brando in it. I'm really not sure.
What are you fucking?
Ooh.
You haven't seen The Godfather?
Oh, okay. Never mind. I've seen a movie with Marlon Brando in it.
Excuse me.
No, the one thing that I will say is I have not seen a movie with
Have you
John
seen
Wayne.
Apocalypse Now?
Is that Marlon Brando
Neither have
too?
I, actually. Yeah.
Okay, but I haven't seen the Western movies. And John
Neither have
Wayne
I.
is someone that I know is a big Western movie guy. And the only reason I know about who John Wayne is from a Family Guy episode when Peter he does his John Wayne at the first Thanksgiving skit. Have you ever seen that one? He literally just
No.
sits there and goes, "I'm John Wayne, pilgrims, give me turkey, pilgrims." Like, that's the only reason I know who he is. And speaking of Family Guy, that's actually, I was more of a Family Guy guy. And we're going to get into our
Okay.
first bit of news here, because there was some huge deals being made for something like a Family Guy. We have the South Park creators getting a massive deal.
Just want to give a big round of applause to those guys
Oh.
because they've come a long way from doing acid at the Oscars. I gotta say.
I mean, they probably still could and still make great
Yeah.
shows, great movies. So the South Park creators, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, Viacom CBS, they didn't specify the amount, which means probably that it was much more than anyone even thinks, which they think it was $900 million.
do you
900
understand
million.
that amount of money?
No.
Do you understand?
That's what I'm saying. They probably broke $1 billion. So Viacom CBS and like alongside Comedy Central, obviously South Park is
Yeah.
probably Comedy Central's last stand. Like Comedy Central is South Park at this point. What else do they have? They don't even release specials anymore, because why would they?
I know. They're essentially MTV. So
They're MTV with
is to
ridiculousness.
ridiculousness as South Park is to Comedy Central.
yeah.
It's the
And,
same
dude,
deal.
honestly, for South Park, why not just stay with them? They let them do whatever they want, and
Yeah.
they just raked in like the biggest televised event last year with their vaccine special or whatever. So South Park gets 14 original movies.
I mean, their movies are incredible, I will say. I do have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
And it is, do you think South Park loses a bit of its luster if it goes to somewhere that gives it full creative reign? As in, like, it goes to an HBO or it goes to somewhere like that where they have no holds barred, can literally do whatever they want, versus having episodes that need to be within this constraint of, like, a Comedy Central.
Well, I gotta admit, I don't think
I don't know if it'll change that much.
No, I don't think that
but
Comedy Central really censors them too much. Like, I have checked out their stuff. Like I said, I'm a Family Guy guy. Like, out of the Family Guy, Simpsons, or South Park thing, I think everyone kind of lumps those in together. I'm Family Guy. But in terms of South Park, I don't think that you can say that they really censor them. And if they do, then
They don't really.
I don't think that the creators have too much of a problem with it. Maybe that's how they make their comedy, because they still make super poignant, super new, edgy comedy on Comedy Central somehow. And I think it's just because Comedy Central is like, this is what people need. You know, on Instagram, on YouTube, you can get the most edgy, whatever comedy you want, and people flock to
Yeah.
that. People like us, people who are true comedy fans, flock to it. So Comedy Central's like, okay, if we want to stay alive, we can't tell these people what to say.
Yeah, that's true. And I think they would never do that for, Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I don't think you can tell them that because they'll just be like, fuck you and leave.
Yeah, and your company dies. Like,
yeah,
it's funny because
Comedy
when you
Central
think
goes
about
down.
like business, like we think of the business, especially in show business as, and honestly, most of the time, if you are a successful business and you're still doing a lot of content, you need to kind of appease the left. You need to either censor things or make them a certain way for the most part. And that's maybe not a fair statement. That's just kind of what I just said. But
it's just
in terms of South Park, though, I mean, like with Comedy Central, really, like if you don't have anything else and people are still watching South Park and it gets eyes to your network, you're going to do whatever you can to keep them around. And if that means that South Park needs to make whatever social commentary that they need to make, then hey, Comedy Central is letting them do it. And so is Viacom CBS that way.
Also, we are not thinking about the fact that Paramount Plus, I mean, they're going to be on Paramount Plus now too. So essentially they can do whatever they want on there and Paramount's just going to say, all right, we'll throw it up. You got Yellowstone on there now. You got South Park, 14 new movies.
That's the thing.
That's like,
it's literally,
that's like Adam Sandler's deal.
That's what I was going to say. What other deal have we seen like this? It is literally just the Sandman with Netflix. So they're going to do two movies a year through like 2027 or something. It says they're trying to keep them on till.
How do you do that?
I don't understand how you make that many movies and how they're going to be all that good, but that literally just shows where the streaming world is at. They probably saw the Sandman's deal with Netflix and were like, we got to do something. Like we need people to watch Paramount Plus, so let's just get the South Park fans, I guess.
You guys can do a 45-minute episode calling a movie and just come back over.
Yeah.
Do an imagination.
These movies are going to be 53 minutes and 27 seconds long, and that's going to be fine. Unlike the Suicide Squad, which, by the way, dude, I realized I've been watching so many comedy movies. I'm so not conditioned to actual movie lengths. Like, I was watching it during the day today. I was like, this movie has an hour left?
It's 2 hours and
2 hours, 12
2 hours and 15 minutes?
Something around there.
2 hours and 12.
Yeah.
Which,
that's 45 minutes longer than a rom-com now.
Yeah.
But a good movie, like a good action, probably superhero movie, that's average. It's par for the course.
I will say I was surprised at the runtime too. Like I clicked play and I was like, oh, we have 2 hours and 12 minutes of this. I was kind of excited too because I was really excited to watch it. And if it were an hour and 30 like usual comedies that we watch are, I would be kind of disappointed because, they fly by pretty quick. So the fact that we got an extra 42 minutes thrown in there was awesome, and I did think it was well worth it. I don't think a minute was wasted.
We'll delay that talk just until we get to the movie. So that's our movie news right now. South Park, guys, good for you making ridiculous money. We're going to go to TV here, and then
just keep on doing
touch on some comedy news. So TV, we have a Hulu movie, or a Hulu show. It's called Reboot. It's a comedy pilot. So basically, it seems like what they're doing is trying to poke fun about how everything is a reboot or a sequel nowadays. And essentially, the plot seems to be that there's a successful early 2000s comedy, and there is a reboot, and they need to figure out their ways in these fast-changing times. I have to admit, from that description that I saw in this article, it made me roll my eyes super hard, especially because it's one of those things that Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds does it perfectly. If you can break the fourth wall and actually make fun of yourself, that's fine. But in this industry that literally is making comedy pilots to make fun of itself seems so disingenuous. It's like you are the problem, right? You can't make any original content, and you're trying to make original content out of making fun of something that you are doing.
It's kind of a paradox, right? Because you're stuck in this, like, you're making a parody show about reboots while at the same time going off of reboots and making new content about we're on that staircase that's just going up and down right now.
It seems like they're trying to be like.
Yeah,
It's
outside the box while still inside the circle.
It seems like they're trying
that's
to be
the only way I
woke,
can describe
guess,
it.
would be the word.
Not even
You know
woke,
what I mean?
but
Like,
just like
but in that way,
they're
like they're trying to be like, oh, I know what's going on. Let's poke fun at it together.
They're trying to be self-aware to a point where it's almost, I don't know. They're trying to be too self-aware,
saying,
and there's a level of self-awareness that I even think is too much. And even like I heard, not to throw this in there, but I saw like some TikTok clips of Bo Burnham talking about self-awareness, and he's like, does a fucking Deadpool, a $250 million movie, really have to like wink at the screen?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, we know what you're doing here. But this, I was kind of skeptical until I saw who was attached.
Yep.
I will say,
Yep.
because I have faith in the people who are attached that they wouldn't steer us in the wrong direction.
So, are you talking about the actors or the creator?
I'm talking about the actors.
Okay.
Here.
So, this is the problem. As much as I love the actors, like the two main ones that we have, and because they're from such different worlds and they could seem like they could vibe together so well, I could also see them getting signed on to a pilot and thinking it's good and then just kind of flopping out. So we have Keegan-Michael Key and Johnny Knoxville. Probably two people that you would not really expect to cross paths. Like, I guess I'm not surprised, but also if I'm thinking about a random show, I'm like, what actors could go together? Those two would never go together in my mind.
They're just not in the same conversations, I don't think, ever.
Yeah.
They do such different things, and even though Johnny Knoxville, I feel like you've talked about him as an actor a little bit, he's not in the same category of the versatility that Keegan-Michael Key brings with everything he does.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
I think
he's so versatile, he can kind of fit in with anyone.
He's a Swiss Army knife where Johnny Knoxville, no matter where you put him, it's like, oh shit, it's Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville's in this.
Yeah, but I think Johnny Knoxville's really trying to expand his arsenal. And like, I mean, he's obviously talented. So he had that stand-up special where he did like the multimedia thing. He's kind of visionary in that way.
I thought that was Steve-O.
Or sorry, not
I was gonna say that.
Just ban the
Steve-O.
comment. Never mind. But he really is, like we were saying before, though. He is really kind of like a jack of all trades. So he has acted before, and I think that it's just kind of like you're trying to branch out. I could kind of see this.
I want it to be good.
I could see them. I think that they're trying to do too much here. I think that Keegan-Michael Key is going to be a nice anchor, and it's going to be decent because of him. But if the concept isn't there. Like, if the concept is as cringy as it possibly could be, because this could be bad, doing the whole reboot thing. And
there's one thing that I will say about it, and I think it's from the uproar that I heard, and not even really heard because I just saw it on Twitter one day and then forgot about it the next day, which happens to everybody. But I saw that Friends from College didn't get renewed on Netflix, and people were like, clawing to get that back, and I saw Keegan-Michael Key's really disappointed. It was supposed to be a good show. Maybe they ended it at the right time. I didn't watch. I don't know. I feel like people would be more excited for him to go back into that than they would for this new project, but we have to see it. I don't know. You can't really say shit about that because also you saw the last Suicide Squad. You come into this one, and you're like, what the fuck is gonna happen in this year? Yeah, like what are we gonna do here? We just gonna double down on this?
That's that one. Like that's a show that I bet I would enjoy, but I see it on the Netflix menu and I'm like, not enough people talk about this, and I'm not gonna dive in. I'm gonna watch New Girl again. So.
You know what I just did? I'm like, I saw that the other day, and I'm like, you know what I should watch? They have a cocaine cowboy show now that they just put on the front of the screen. I'm like, it's a documentary.
Right
I was like, okay,
I'm gonna do that.
I'm
gonna pretend like I'm learning because it's a documentary. No, it's about people doing cocaine.
They put it in that box for you where the trailer automatically plays. I'm like, you sold me. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have to look anymore.
So, I mean, we'll keep an eye out. We'll see when it comes out. That could be interesting to watch. At least, honestly, at least the pilot episode. I think I'd definitely check it out. Especially because, you have I don't even think we said this yet, but the Modern Family co-creator. I didn't get into Modern Family, but obviously you can't
it was a
turn
really
your
good
head
show.
at that. Yeah, I mean, it's a mega show, so we'll see how that turns out. I'm obviously very excited or interested in Johnny Knoxville and Keegan-Michael Key, even though I got confused with Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O in the middle of that. Sorry, Steve-O.
I would even say that the writing in Modern Family propelled it to it just made it good. It was the actors, of course, they pulled it all together, but the writing was really good and it kept getting better and better. So if they can pull that into it a little bit into this show, I think it'll be good. Also, do you want to touch on something that's not so good that happened this weekend, or do you not? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you've seen it.
Probably
But so do you know Trevor Moore from Whitest Kids You Know?
It rings a bell, but no, for the sake of the pop, no.
So he's from the Whitest Kids You Know, basically a founder of that, been a comedian for a while, been a hilarious guy. So he's 41, got in an accident over the weekend and unfortunately passed away.
Oh, okay.
So I saw an outpouring on Twitter from everybody just, kind of in shock, kind of doing it. I saw Adam Sandler tweet about it.
Oh, you know what? I just saw Sandler say it, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, I saw that and, the comedy world definitely took a hit on that one.
Big RIP.
I know. So we just thought we'd shout that out a little bit just because, sticking to our roots a little bit here. And I think that was a big thing that was going on and definitely a key event that we should definitely mention at least once because Whitest Kids You Know was hilarious. I mean,
I didn't check it out too much, but definitely hate losing someone from the community. We'll do one more piece of TV news because this is something I'm actually a little more interested in, and then we will get back to the true comedy world. One little news article there that I think is pretty interesting. Comedy. So we have an HBO Max show which I've heard about in the past, which sounds really interesting.
Yes.
Because
tell me more.
So it's the show called Our Flag Means Death. It's a pirate comedy, and it's starred by someone in the Suicide Squad, by the way, Taika Waititi. Obviously, we have
sold.
Yeah,
okay,
anything that Taika's involved in, I am in. And it's David Jenkins is involved too. And the Taika stars in it, actually plays Blackbeard, and Rhys Darby has another starring role in it. They just added Leslie Jones, the SNL. I think that a lot of people might know her now from Supermarket Sweep. I think that's pretty big, Coming to America. Yeah. And then Nat Faxon, someone who I love this. There's a specific movie, not specific. I just think it wasn't the widest release. The Way Back. If you know The Way Back, you know how great he is in it. That's one of his biggest roles.
What is that one? The Way Back?
Oh, dude, we could talk about that for days. It's not quite a true comedy. It's honestly more of a drama probably, but it's kind of like a nice indie vibe to it. He's in Bad Teachers too. Nat Faxon's very good. Leslie Jones is fantastic as well, and it's just so interesting to me that HBO Max is throwing I guess a bunch of money. You throw a bunch of money at any series, but a period piece pirate comedy series featuring Taika Waititi and these pretty good players. I mean, it sounds awesome. Like I'm kind of all on board for this just because I don't. Yeah. It's original. Like we were saying with this reboot thing, they're making fun of something that they're also doing. A period piece of pirates featuring Taika Waititi. What are we going to get?
Say that sentence one more time. A period piece of pirates.
Period piece of pirates. I only speak in alliterations.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see what he does with this. I really want to see. I've loved everything that man has put together so far. And I have no doubt that it's going to be great.
As long as there are no,
so when is it supposed to...
as long as there aren't, puns, as long as one of the episodes isn't about, getting booty. Oh, there might be hilarious.
I feel you know what? I feel like there's gonna be at least one of those in there.
There could not.
No, but there's gonna be. There's gonna be one of those cheap maybe little things.
Little throwaway, a little throwaway. Whatever. If it's the plot of one episode, though, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
No, it's definitely not gonna be the plot of a whole episode.
That Faxon tries to get all up into Leslie Jones's booty.
It's not gonna happen.
I hope not, dude. That'd be terrible. It's gonna happen.
That would be the worst.
I'm just trying to think, seriously, think about what this show could be. That's why I think these shows are interesting, because I think about writing them, and I'm like, how would I start to write a pirate period piece and make it funny?
I feel like there's a lot that could be funny about it.
It's endless, just about, because who's gonna say that anything in that show is not true or just inaccurate?
there had to be some really shitty pirates. It's not like everybody was great at their job back then.
It's apparently also the Blackbeard, the pirate that Taika plays, is history's most feared and revered pirate, according to this Deadline article.
So the one thing that I do think that Taika does well is taking these like feared or kind of historical figures and taking them and just spinning them completely.
He played a pretty bad guy, a whippersnapper in the one movie that we reviewed.
He was a real knucklehead, that guy. He's a real rabble rouser. but that, I mean, not to spin them in a good light, but just, you know, having cast them and that not even having that immediate like kind of feeling. Yeah. You know, when you watch the movie, it doesn't take away from what's going on so much that it would in a serious way. I don't really know how to phrase
I know what you're
it,
saying. It's just like he has this
he's
lovable
on the line
nature.
very well.
Yeah, he has this very unique, specific thing about him that's just so interesting that you don't turn your head at. And also, that's the other thing. Like with this, again, with
I feel
this
like he's just
odd
inherently
show,
likable.
He is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So with this odd show, if Taika wasn't on board and I just read the rest of the cast, I'd just be like, gonna skip that one. But anything he does, I'm gonna watch. So we're definitely gonna check this one out. That should be fun.
And was he in What We Do in the Shadows? Yeah, he did that, right? Yep.
Yeah, that was like
so
that
that's
was
a vampire
his brainchild
one
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not brainchild. I think that was a remake of a different one, but
that was a movie, I think, and then
an English movie or something. Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. By the way, we mentioned rabble rousing and everything.
Taika.
The best day in this pod's history is going to be when Bart Crystal's movie comes out, The Machine.
Bert Krishna?
Yeah, Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Kreischer.
you actually are the one person who said it right. So far.
Bruce Kreitner. That movie's going to be hilarious.
Brent Kreisler.
Congratulations, Bert, for wrapping up that movie. So speaking of stand-ups, by the way, do we want to
Mark Hamill staying in touch?
Yeah, do we want to mention? So just some pretty big news. Something that really took me by surprise because I've been watching the scene,
shocked,
just seeing
honestly.
what shows are coming, who's on tour.
Because I think you were supposed to play MSG that weekend, right? And then you kind of got bumped.
They bumped me out.
You bumped. I know. You were like, I'm not gonna be the middleman here.
No, I'm not featuring for this guy.
I'm not the warm-up guy here.
So Louis C.K. announced a tour, a nationwide tour. It came out in an email to his fans that people get a hold of easily. So
I think that's pretty readily available to the public.
Yeah. People are just like, oh, you want to pay me $10 for this email? Yeah, I'll forward it.
Somebody screenshots.
Yeah, before
puts it on Twitter.
Before Louis he was honestly the first one to kind of take like the Patreon model or anything that Twitter has like these subscriptions now. His last special he put up on his website said, "Hey, if you want to pay $10 for it or whatever it was, support me. There you go. Watch this special." And he addressed what he did. Whether you think it was that bad or not, we're not here to say anything. Mm-hmm. We're just here to say that he announced a full U.S. tour, and it's starting out at Madison Square Garden for 2 nights. Not just one. Like, he has enough people on board for 2 nights. And that's the thing. I really don't know how MSG works now. So the only time I went to see a concert at MSG was freaking Drake and Future. So the entire MSG was like, it was MSG.
Not a planned time to go. I mean, that's MSG when it's MSG.
Oh, I'm saying, like, I don't get how this, like, Hulu theater is working. So it says the Hulu theater at Madison Square Garden, but also it says, like, if you go to Madison...
It's probably just branded as
That's what I thought.
It's definitely
But if you go to Madison Square Garden's website, Ali Wong's also there. So, by the way, this weekend, or this week or whatever at MSG where they're going to be, which is actually, I think, next weekend, or technically this weekend, it's Ali Wong, Louis C.K., and Ricky Gervais. So like Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais. That was weird. Ricky Gervais. So like all 3 of them, but there's like this Landmark Theater, whatever it's called, and then the Hulu Theater on their website. So that's
don't
what
know
I
what
thought
that
too. Like
means.
I don't know if Louis C.K. is selling out like all of MSG, and I don't
they
know if he's
split it
selling
in
it out.
half?
That's what I have no idea how you would even do that at MSG.
I guarantee people are gonna go. Like I have
Absolutely.
no
Would you go?
reservations about people going. Would I
Yeah.
go?
I gotta see what he says. I mean,
I don't know. I'd like a
but
review.
this is what I
of
would say. Yeah,
happens.
this is what I would say about Louis C.K. right now. Is that
Yes.
what we actually it didn't get released. We were talking about Dimitri Martin on our unreleased episode. That it's going to be an evergreen episode. If we need to release it at some point, we're going to release it. But before
We got 2 of them in there.
before there were specials, or not before there were specials, but before Netflix specials really ramped up, and it was like the thing to have a Netflix special, and there was like albums were still more of a thing. I would listen to
Yeah.
albums, and it was through Spotify. It wasn't that long ago, but I would listen.
I was gonna say, what did you go to the
Yep.
record store
Yeah,
and go
I was
like,
listening through-
they have Louis C.K.
It was in an A
here."
track.
Yeah.
No, I listened to Dimitri Martin's, a few of his actually, but Louis was probably the
Yeah.
first thing. And this is another thing I said. Tosh was my first intro
Tosh.
to stand up. But when I
Big
listened
YouTube.
to stand up, when in my free time I would listen to stand up, Louis would be on
Yeah.
there. And this was before everything went down. So all I will say is that it's very, very interesting that Louis C.K. is now performing again in theaters, or probably more, like mainly more club kind of deals, but across
Probably
the
more
country.
clubs. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past people to be like, I gotta go see what this guy's gonna say, because he's already addressed what's happened. So it might just be straight up Louis stand up. And then I think it's on a personal level, like, okay, how bad do I think it is what he did? And however you feel about it, can I think what he says is funny and go, not only that, but go to a theater, purchase a ticket, go sit down amongst a lot of people and collectively laugh. That's what I think is going to be interesting.
You can have a mask on, so you don't have to show him that you laughed. You can just
Hat,
pretend
mask,
that you were
sunglasses,
stoic
yeah.
and mad at him the whole time. You can just sit there and pretend you were just upset.
Dude, I
and
didn't
not
even think about the fact that there might be some people that buy tickets just to try to mess with his show. That would, I honestly,
Just to buy-
he is the perfect person, by the way, for that to
Wait.
happen. For him just to deal
Who
with
was it?
them.
He's gonna do get what 50 Cent did to who the fuck did he do it to? He did it to the guy who did Firefest too. It was the guy who has the headphones now.
Oh,
who
Ray
did
J?
Firefest. Yeah, Ray J. He bought the whole 3 front rows of his concert. 50 did just to fuck with him.
Was that Ray J or was that
It was Ray
the
J.
headphones?
It was just empty in the front. He's like, "You gonna sell it for $50? I'm gonna buy that shit up."
Well, that's actually something else I realized. They're relatively cheap, because that's what I was doing my
Yeah.
research, folks. I was trying to see what the Hulu theater was all about. I couldn't tell if it was actually MSG or not. So who knows?
I mean,
but probably not
we'll
much
see.
to comment
Also,
on this.
wait.
Just I think it's kind of crazy. I was not expecting to see him touring.
One last thing I actually do want to mention and see if you had heard about it is, did you see the new show with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez is coming out in August, at the end of August?
I like barely heard about this.
So it's called Only Murders in the Building.
Right.
And it's basically they live in an apartment building together, and there's a murder that happens, and they see the guy in the elevator. They're all in the elevator together, and then he goes off and gets murdered. And Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez are like, all right, let's find out what happened. But they start like a true crime podcast while they're doing it. So it's just kind of ridiculous.
With the 3 of them, I was gonna say count me in, and then I heard about some murder angle, and then again with this, like, we're trying to stay with the zeitgeist. True crime
I don't
podcast. Just count me out, man. It's gonna be
honestly,
cringy.
I saw the trailer, and dude, it's still Steve Martin
Yeah.
and Martin Short. I'm not gonna not watch
As
it.
much as I love Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez, I don't. This is the thing. It's like the Coming to America thing. You remember how mad I was about them making the Beyond Burger joke at first? Like, as much as I need to respect these people, as much as I do, they're comedy legends. When social or, like, you know, current issues come about and they try to comment on them, I'm not so sure I need to hear about it. So hey, look, if the writing staff is like perfect and it's just, you know, that they're performing it, sure. But it's going. This is the thing. It's not even that I'm being cynical and I don't think it's going to be funny. It's just that I think that it's going to already have been said 40,000 times on the internet before that they actually get this in front of people on their TVs, and that's what I don't like. Is if it's the 1,000th time I'm hearing
confidence.
it. Okay. Then I have confidence too. We're gonna check that out.
I have confidence.
We'll check it out.
We're gonna watch it
because I like them a lot. It's just that's to me is going to be the same thing as the Beyond Burger thing. It's like, hey, we get it. It's vegan burgers. They don't taste good. Ha ha.
Okay, but that's very different than I think a movie, because I think these shows can hit more frequently than, I don't know. I think
True crime podcast kind of took me out though.
Just, I don't think that's the main thing about it. We'll see if it is, and if it is, I don't know. I think they can. I think they can pull it out.
I hope.
I think they can do it.
Honestly, I hope. I'm not trying to be that cynical. I'm hoping that they do. So we'll see then. But do we want to start talking about the movie, the gem of the hour, actually getting pretty good reviews?
The Belle of the Ball. It's got a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, for now at least.
Did I expect that? No.
I was expecting like.
Am I happy with it? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly really was expecting people to not like this movie before I started watching it. And then the first 10 minutes, I was like, okay, sure. So do we want to do like a quick non-spoiler overview? Just for people, if they haven't seen the movie yet, you can listen to this part and then watch it, come back, listen to what we say like in a more in-depth way. So
yeah, it delivers. It absolutely delivers. And I think it kind of erases what you go into thinking about the last one.
Yeah.
I think that it almost erases your memory. It does like a Men in Black memory wipe of the first one, because this one is now the only thing I'm going to think of when I think Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Like that other movie doesn't exist, and Will Smith can say thank you to James Gunn and send him a Rolex, because now that movie doesn't exist anymore.
That was so bad for Will Smith.
Like really bad.
So
not even that he's bad in it. It was just not a good movie.
No, and that's the thing. It was just doomed from the start. Basically, is what that movie was.
That was his Wild Wild West round 2.
Oh God. Yeah, that movie, they were just like, hey, we're going to try something new here. This is a cool concept.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, actually? No, they didn't, because they took what The Purge did. They took a cool concept and decided not to make an actual plot around the movie, and we're like, let's see how this works. Turns out not too well.
Was it also PG-13?
Maybe.
I think that's what did it in, too. You can't have these villains and have everybody, like one of them's named Deadshot. Literally, shoots people.
It's a comic book character. It's not like they're making that up.
I understand.
There was the polka dot man in this one.
No. I'm saying that with these villains and the
Okay.
What they bring to the table.
PG-13.
You're not gonna have a PG-13 Deadpool movie.
Yeah, no, I mean it would suck.
You can't.
But...
I mean, with King Shark, you're not gonna have that be PG-13. Yeah. That would suck.
Yeah, so I think what really helped this one out a lot, and this is not going to be a unique take, anyone you hear talk about this movie should mention this, is that James Gunn just did this so right. He has such a specific thing, and that's why all of, even like the marketing for this movie, it's all from the beautifully twisted mind of James Gunn or something. You know, like the Guardians of the Galaxy creator, he has his twist on that, and that is one of my favorite movies in general, definitely favorite Marvel movies. He takes this, and it's basically like what Tim Burton did with Edward Scissorhands. Like, it's a noir film. It's basically that for James Gunn in a comic book action style. Like,
I think it's incredible.
There's like, it's fun, it's gory, it's funny, it's entertaining, it's edgy in a way.
I love that he's got 2 killer projects in 2 different comic book universes. It's awesome to see. Like you said your favorite was Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel. Probably top 2 for
Mine's
me.
Ragnarok, actually. My favorite one is Ragnarok, but
probably Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, and then now to go to DC, where I'm not really familiar with everything that goes on.
Movie yet. I
haven't either. I saw Wonder Woman and was like, where did you get your special effects from? Like, where did you go to the thrift shop and get these? I don't understand what's going on here.
We got these from Salvation Army.
Yeah. You went with Macklemore one day and you came back with
God.
special effects. Yeah,
Macklemore.
exactly. We just said it. But I think that he took this one, even like when you're watching the transitions that he did, and I won't say like any spoilers, but
beautiful.
The titles and
Yeah.
everything that he did and the special effects that he brought into this are very James Gunn-esque of what he brings to the table when he does something. And even, I mean, executing the plot, and we'll get into that a little bit, and how it's done, and just I think that he took this project and was like, I'm going to, if I'm not going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'm going to make this project. Is he still? Yeah. Did he get rehired? Yeah. Oh, incredible. I'm saying, like, he took this project and just did everything possible to make it a hit, and it was.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the one thing I would say is, like, we were talking about, like, just how it looks, and that's something that I thought in, like, the first 15 minutes of this movie I really enjoyed, but then it kind of, hits a different part, and I was like, if I end up not really liking this that much, at the very least, it's going to look cool, and James Gunn is going to do some cool stuff with it. No matter what the plot is, it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know how much else I would have to say in a non-spoiler way. I mean, we could talk about, like, when we say that first 15 minutes, we can, like, identify that a little more for the people that have actually seen it.
The last thing I would say, non-spoiler, is that if you're planning to watch it, I would say it's definitely worth the watch. I would also say that don't be scared of, because I do know some people who are kind of scared off by movies over the 2-hour mark, which is kind of insane to say, but it keeps you involved the entire time. Yeah. There's not those lulls that you might be used to in other movies where it kind of goes up. Obviously, there's points where it's not as exciting because that has to happen in movies. That's how they work.
Yeah, they're bridge acts,
But it keeps you involved, and I think James Gunn is very good at doing that, where he paces the scenes very well, where even if it's a slower scene, you don't really feel the need, especially now that you're streaming it, to like go on your phone every 2 seconds or do the whole double screen viewing. I feel like it kept my attention way better than every other movie that I've watched that's direct to streaming so far.
Yeah.
And I will say that.
And I think that there are enough subplots.
But it's not direct to streaming to also say that.
Right. Yeah. I think that there are like enough subplots that, there are different things that happen that he focuses on throughout the movie.
Yeah.
That kind of lend it better to that. It's not even a long movie, honestly. 2 hours, 12 minutes for these. It's not long.
Look, I've watched the Tarantino cut of The Hateful Eight. I understand what a long movie is, and this is not that. Also, I have the Rotten Tomatoes for the other Suicide Squad pulled up. It's 26%, but also every time I go to that tab, it's just Jared Leto's Joker on my screen. Like, come on.
We'll bridge this into spoilers, I guess, because he's not in it. That shouldn't be a spoiler.
Yeah.
So now, if we're gonna start spoilers, right after
I don't know why he was in the last one.
Just right after
why
I say,
was the Joker in the last one?
I am so happy he wasn't in this. I mean,
what was he doing?
The whole, and I know that was another thing with Twitter, like the whole "we live in a society" thing with Jared Leto and his Joker. I mean, just disgusting. Just disgusting that they allowed that character to be on a screen. I hate that Joker so much. So much.
They didn't watch it in post and were like, you know what? I don't really think this adds anything, Jared. Thank you for the pigs that you sent us on set, but I think we're okay.
Anal beads or whatever he did, or
we'll
at
still
least
pay
use
you.
condoms. Like,
we'll still pay you. Hey.
It's like when if Andy Reid decides to stop coaching, the Chiefs will be like, we're gonna pay you to not go to another team. Like,
exactly.
It's like Charlie Weiss's deal with Notre Dame. This is a deep cut, by the way, but he got paid when he got fired. He got paid for like 7 years. No, just because he had a contract going and they fired him. But he got paid like, I don't know, maybe like $15 million a year for like 7 years or something, just to not do anything, just to be unemployed.
What's that worst contract in sports?
Oh, the Mets had the
contract.
Manny Padilla is back up. That was just recently. I think that's ending soon, actually. Hopefully.
I think so. I mean, he's made quite a bit on that one.
Yeah. So let's go to the spoilers here. But so basically, I think that the way that they started it out, I was definitely very worried. Or at the very beginning, I was happy because the one thing I wanted to point out in a spoiler way is that the way that they started out was really fun. Like, they had Michael Rooker. Michael, right? Last name Rooker.
Yeah, Michael Rooker.
So he was in this prison, and then they had the Johnny Cash song. I think it's like Folsom Prison Blues or something, which, by the way, is what they rip off in I Think You Should Leave, which is hilarious. I guess you could probably say that for like any Johnny Cash song, but when I was hearing that,
Bones
I
are
was
their
like,
money.
the bones are their money.
So are the birds. Like, now it's birds because he kills a bird.
Yeah.
But I think also Michael Rooker's got some kind of James Gunn connection here.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was in Guardians of the Galaxy as
probably brought
Yondu,
him
if
in,
you didn't.
yeah.
He looks very different in those movies from this one.
blue.
He goes from blue to an albino person with blonde
Harley
hair.
Quinn
So
white.
quite a shift. But
Yeah, well, no, I like that, and then the thing is, I love Flula Berg from Borg from
So much.
just from Conan stuff. Honestly, is mainly
Yeah.
what I know him from. But then Pete Davidson, I'm a big Pete Davidson fan actually. But when he was in this movie, I was just like, I think he's a good actor, but he's always going to be Pete Davidson. So like in The King of Staten Island, it was fine. It was perfect. I get that's Pete Davidson, cool. But in terms of being like a superhero, it was always going to be Pete Davidson playing a superhero to me.
exactly.
So the way that they kind of handled that first squad and then brought in, like, that's actually, I loved that plot device too. But they were like, well, also they showed how gory it was going to be and just how crazy it was going to be off the bat. They're like, oh, squad 2, you're good. And then you see like the main people.
But the fact that we didn't know there was a squad 2, and I was like, is this whole movie just going to be a flashback to like 3 days before?
Yeah. Well,
I was literally thinking they all
like,
just died.
How are we gonna bring in Idris Elba and John Cena?
Yeah.
Like, what's
Yeah,
gonna
like
happen?
are they gonna swim up? Were they in the helicopter
Yeah.
we just didn't see? Like, what happened here? Also, I think that they picked the exact right people to survive.
Yep.
Number one. I think that the people
Well, you knew
were
Margot
into-
Robbie was gonna survive.
Yeah, no, obviously. I'm saying that from that group, I think that it's perfect that number one, Flag survived, that guy who leads
Of course,
the squad.
yeah.
'Cause I
Colonel
love Joel
Rick
Kinnaman.
Flag. Yeah, Joel Kinnaman.
Joel Kinnaman
yeah.
is a great actor.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he's great in these movies, but I think also that it's incredible to just see all of them get torn
Oh, yeah.
apart, and you're like, oh, this is
Murdered.
why it's Suicide Squad. That's something we didn't have in the first one. Is basically like, yeah, they're all gonna die. That's the purpose.
It's kind of their thing.
Yeah, that's literally. And then to have Pete Davidson, I think it's the perfect use for him.
Oh yeah.
Is because I do agree that it takes everybody a little bit out of the movie when you're like, yeah, that's Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
He's Pete Davidson playing a guy, but he kept his Pete Davidson qualities.
Yeah, he played a good character for Pete Davidson. That's for sure.
He was literally Pete Davidson in the movie. He goes, guys, we still have a deal.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a killer. Like, what did he do to get into prison? But he walks up, just gets shot in the face immediately, and we go, oh,
I get it.
okay, here we go. Yeah. That first scene was incredible. And Weasel. Poor Weasel. Doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
feel bad
that.
for him, though.
I actually laughed pretty hard when Weasel hit the water.
my
And
ass
then,
off.
yeah. And then I guess we figure out that it's some type of. So that's the thing. We had this coup going on. It's a South American coup. So it's like, oh, I guess we're doing some like Venezuelan commentary or something. It kind of got political like right away, which in a way grounded the movie, which kind of I think worked in its favor. Like it kind of made it more attainable, but then it got really wild.
For you, does it take you out a little bit at all when a name is so fake of a country?
Kind of.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, the thing
like
that was weird was like
Corta Mesa or whatever it was. I was like, doesn't that mean short table? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know if it was Mesa. Like I didn't. I think it might have been Malta, which also is a country.
Yeah.
Like it's the name was weird for sure, but it also was just like it didn't take much thinking to be like, oh, okay, we're doing the South American communist coups. Like that's what's happening here. And then at the end, we realized that it's all a cover up for like America doing bad things, which I kind of get. I don't need to be one of these people that like, oh, it's always so political nowadays. I think probably it just made the plot a little more attainable. Like it made it a little less crazy from what we have is the giant, which by the way, that starfish, I really think is just like, it's Watchmen with the TV show Watchmen, spoilers, but there are some octopuses involved, octopi. And then Stranger Things. Again, spoilers, that when they just, the thing attaches itself to everyone and tries to take over their bodies or whatever.
Yep.
It was just like a perfect melding of the two. And also it's very James Gunnish because they're colorful and they're weird and it's kind of scary when they're going through at first.
I will say, also, call this out. You could tell me that I'm wrong. Not wrong. Probably wrong. Gonna say it anyway.
See.
At an hour and 15 minutes and
yeah.
6 seconds into the movie. Hour and 15 minutes and 6 seconds.
Check 'em,
exactly. Exactly. When Idris Elba has that alien-looking ass helmet on, he's got a blood stain on his chest, and it looks like the blood stain that's on the smiley face in Watchmen. I don't know if it means anything. Maybe it's literally just a blob
I think
on his chest.
what my guess is now, Winnie, now this is going to be crazy to you. Are you ready? Just follow me here. Just follow me because it's going to take a few steps.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a splatter. You know? It's just a splatter.
But
but like costume designers are like, how is this gonna splatter? Maybe like a splatter.
it looks so specifically done, though. It does. It's not like a normal looking blood splatter. It's not. You could tell me otherwise. It's just not. It doesn't look right.
I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna look up the Watchmen blood splatter.
It literally looks like either his nipple is bleeding upwards or he got shot in the chest and it's slightly bleeding down, but it was like one drop.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if I'm missing something before this that happened, that somebody's head. I don't know. Either way, that could be a Watchmen connection.
We'll keep going here, but I am also going to send you a picture of what I am imagining the Watchmen splatter would be, because I'm not getting up the actual movie right now. But
Okay.
you keep going.
I know exactly what
you continue.
I know
with our
exactly
spoiler
what
thing.
it looks
Okay.
like. Okay. So from there, I think that, I think what you were saying about the government and everything and the coup, it just pulls us in. We see Team 2. We go into it's like John Cena, Idris Elba, King Shark. What's his name? Nanunu?
Something like that.
Nananu?
Yeah.
Nuawe?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I skipped way ahead. I forgot to do like the character intros for.
I'm gonna
the
get
second
ripped for that one, but
Nanunu.
like
Hang on.
Nunawe.
I'm also gonna look at this. So wait, can you get your messages up and let me know just how close I am to?
No, I think you're exactly right in what you think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. No, not that one.
Okay.
I'll send you what I think.
send me.
I'll show you it after. But
How about this? Send me a screenshot and we'll keep doing these character intros, because I jumped ahead to like the actual plot, but yeah, I think that the thing that we were all waiting to see, because obviously we saw so much of John Cena, we saw so much of the shark. Idris Elba, we kind of got right off the bat. But the ones that we didn't really know about were the Polka Dot Man and then the, I guess, Ratcatcher's daughter. I guess I didn't really get her name. The only reason I know Ratcatcher is because we just looked it up. Taika is just a junkie, just a heroin addict in this movie, apparently.
Junkie who loves rats.
Yeah, big rat person.
But I don't know. It's a random ass mix of powers and stuff. I love the fact that John Cena and Idris, their characters are just competing the whole time, because immediately when Viola Davis's character introduces him, she's like, you're the leader of the team, to Idris, and we've chosen everyone for their diverse range of skills. And then he says exactly what he does before. He's like, my father trained me from a very young age to be a versatile killer of anybody. John Cena does the exact same intro, and he's like, are you fucking with me? You said diverse range of skill. It's the exact same guy.
She says he's can turn any. Basically, I think she says he can turn anything into a weapon. And he's like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
So
what do you mean?
I do like all those character intros. I thought it was really good. I'm not sure how much I needed the Harley Quinn interlude. Like, obviously, it advanced the plot, and I like Margot Robbie a lot. I just think that her accent kind of annoys me, and that might be what it comes down to. And I also do think it's weird how horny they just buy in. Now, I think another thing that just makes me feel weird is because I know so many dudes are just like, oh yeah, I could almost see like her. They think she was wearing like these like big underwear that these guys are gonna be like, oh yeah. Dude, they
Let's send
they make
those
it
guys
so
right back
horny.
to Wolf of Wall Street.
They make
and
it
call
so
a day,
horny.
Okay? Yeah, you don't need to. Just get over it. Okay? It's a movie.
That's just
Relax.
another reason that I think that they might have made her part a little more
I know,
pronounced.
but she's
also
a crazy
but-
person.
Oh no, but dude, Margot Robbie's fantastic, and I also
Oh, yeah.
forgot that they made that Birds of Prey movie, which also I think.
Oh, I didn't see that actually.
No, me neither. Because why would I watch that? But sorry. I think James Gunn actually said like he didn't even know about the Birds of Prey movie when he watched this or when he wrote this movie. He was just like, yeah, no, this is how it was gonna be, and people were like, so you weren't even involved in it at all? Like this was her character.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
He pulled the Tim Robinson. He's like, I didn't know at all. I didn't do this at all.
Shout out Corn Cob TV.
I didn't do this.
So what do we think about the ultimate villain? I guess I kind of touched on it, dude. The
So-
Watchmen, Stranger Things thing.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that I also so I had a phase earlier in my life where I watched Doctor Who a ton.
Okay.
And Peter Capaldi, who's the guy with like shit sticking out of his head.
Yeah, all the metal stuff.
The evil
Thinker.
guy. Yeah, the guy who tortured. Yeah, is that what they call him? The
I think
Thinker?
the Thinker is his name.
You think the Thinker, eh? You kind of look like him a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Do I
But-
look bald with this hat or something?
No, but you know, he was the Doctor, so you'd be loved in England.
There we go.
But I love him as an actor, and I think he did this role justice. I do think that the main villain was good as the giant starfish, but I think
The giant starfish got played really well. You
no.
know?
What I will say is that it was great how they kind of made you feel bad for the giant starfish at the end. Like, did you feel bad for it when they killed it? He's like, I just loved floating around gazing at the stars.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean,
dude,
This is what I'll say, actually.
why
but-
do I feel for a starfish right
Well, I mean,
now?
obviously, the only two things that they humanized were the CGI things. They had the
A shark and a starfish.
Yeah, the starfish. I don't know how much I liked the rats thing at the end. I don't know how else they would have gotten out of it.
Also,
I don't think
you know
I liked
what
it.
You know what it disproves? It disproves that argument of everybody being like, do you think you could take 1,000 rats or like 2 grizzly bears?
They were just surfing the Reddit threads and they were like, I
Yeah.
know how I'm gonna end it.
Yeah. 1 giant starfish or 1,000,000 rats?
No,
Million
but the
rats,
starfish
easy,
is like,
man.
dude, the starfish is like really powerful. Like, it
Does
could like.
Harley Quinn pierce his eye or no? Because if not, then the starfish all
Does
day.
Harley Quinn have Flula Borg's javelin or no?
Also, how did so many rats survive in the liquid in the eye?
Dude, that's
And Harley Quinn.
there were a lot of.
chilling
I'm kind
in
of
the
like Idris
eyeball.
Elba. Like I don't think anyone is, which is why I think the thing happened. But I'm not the biggest rat guy, you know.
Yeah, that was a good thing to throw in there too. He didn't like rats or anything.
Yeah, they at least explained it away.
Yeah, I think John
yeah.
Cena played a dick really well.
Yeah, he turned well because
Yeah.
the whole time he was kind of like he was just doing John Cena stuff, which I really liked. But yeah, I think it showed, especially his range. John Cena's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fantastic actor.
His delivery of even those lines where he's like, "I love liberty. I'll do anything for it." And
He's so
I
funny.
don't care how many men, women, and children I have to kill to get, to get it.
Him and that dude in like Trainwreck, I think he's fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think great performances all around. I think the movie was good. I think literally the only gripe I would have with it is I'm not sure if I like the rats thing. I really don't
That
know.
seems like a personal. Like, do you have something against
no
rats?
Well,
Like,
I mean,
you,
probably just don't like rats. But no, but I'm
mean,
saying like I
that's
don't
understandable.
think I
You
like
can
the
just say
ploy
it.
of her being like I don't think I like how they took it out. Basically, is what I'm saying.
I
The
honestly
giant
thought she was
starfish.
gonna rip that thing and be able to control the starfish too.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool if she did like maybe we were just
She
watching
just held
too
up
much
that, like,
Loki.
glow stick
Like, we were
and
just
was
like,
just- yeah.
oh, well, like you can just control the all powerful
Yeah.
thing. Just do that.
Just touch it and you can control it.
Yeah.
Now. It's that easy. What do you mean? Just create a portal. Yeah, go talk to Kang. Okay, we're like,
Yeah.
oh, wrong
My-
universe, guy.
No, yeah, I guess wrong universe DC, but
I do love how they, without hesitation, killed off people too. Like, no matter
Yes.
how close you got to anybody or no matter how the backstory went, it's called Suicide Squad. Like, they had no problem killing off anybody.
yeah,
Polka Dots Man,
except
dead
one person.
at the end. Nananu.
No, No,
'Cause
I'm
he's a
saying
beast.
we're talking. Yeah, I mean he was sick. No, I'm talking the post credits. John
Oh.
Cena's alive because we're getting a TV show.
And
Oh, Weasel. Well, I mean,
And
Weasel.
Weasel's
That was
alive.
just funny. Like that was a little funny thing right there. But yeah, so it looks like, or I mean, we know we're getting a TV show for John Cena.
yeah, which is gonna be cool, I think. Also, do you think it's kind of a like because he got shot in the neck, right? I mean, it's gonna be tough for him to recover from that. And they said,
It might
"Oh,
be
we're
5
just
years
gonna."
down the line.
Do you think he's gonna have to do that high pitched voice he did? What did he do that high pitched voice in? I forget whether it was a sketch or something like that. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Might have been a sketch.
Played a super ripped dude who just has a really high pitched voice.
I just love it. Trainwreck is I'll suck you off. I'm gonna suck you off hard.
I'm gonna take you from behind, man. Just
Might be what
hey,
you're thinking.
man, let's not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's gonna be great in a TV show. I think he's earned it. Also, isn't he back in the WWE now?
I think
He just
at
made
least
his
he made an
return, right?
appearance. I saw.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's like full time back, but I mean that dude's getting so much work that I don't think he needs to
I
be in
know.
the WWE. It might be a passion project for him. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch the TV show, but in terms of this movie, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. It
Yeah.
did erase the first one. We had James Gunn in a James Gunn fashion, and I'll tell you what, I'm excited about this new format. I really like this. I like kind of shooting some news off the bat and then talking about the movie in a pretty loose way. So,
Yeah.
did you have anything else about the movie or?
I think I really enjoyed it. Also, that one scene that I will talk about because I saw an article about it and I don't know if it's true. And I wanted to gauge,
Oh, yeah.
accent or not, what you thought about it. So when Margot Robbie is chained up and hanging and like being tortured, there's a rumor. I will call it a rumor because I will need genuine confirmation from multiple people on the set before I believe this, other than
Sources.
Margot Robbie and James Gunn. I need like
I feel
a
like
third.
Margot Robbie and James Gunn should be your sources, honestly.
No, but okay. In today's modern age, you can't believe anything until there's like a third-party source substantiating the claim there.
I need to contact Idris Elba just to know.
I need the dailies on to see what happened on set. Because apparently during that like breakout scene when she's snagging the keys with her feet and everything, also don't be weird, but when she's snagging
Stop
the
being
stuff
so
with her
horny,
keys,
men
don't even.
online.
Yeah, now 79 more people are gonna go watch that movie just because I said that. But there's a scene where she snags the key, like kills a guy with her legs, snags the keys with her feet, and does this crazy acrobatic move where she like flips them up and basically while she's chained like flips them up, does a whole like kind of contortionist thing
Yeah.
where she unlocks the chains. I don't know if the actual unlocking was part of it, but apparently the motion of her like bringing everything up there was genuine and she can actually do that.
That's
and I
insane.
don't know if that's real. That would be
Let's call it real. That'd be fun.
impressive as hell.
Yeah,
if
no,
she
that's
can
real.
do that.
I actually just saw online that's real.
All right, stamp of approval. Real.
Close
Done.
it out, actually.
I mean,
We could even
I think-
throw some more news in just because Screen Rant's
Honestly?
tweeting and I just popped it up because it's
think
obviously
that's
all
case
about
closed.
Suicide Squad stuff.
Yeah.
So Suicide Squad's Idris Elba wants to make a
Uh-huh.
prequel movie about Bloodsport's fight with Superman because that's what they say is in there for.
That
He
would be
shot him
really
with a kryptonite
cool.
bullet.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to see why he went to jail. Why did he shoot Superman? I would love that narrative to
Oh.
come alive. So Idris Elba is starting the campaign on that as well.
Can
as
we
he
please
said,
get more Jared Leto in that one? I think he should make a return. Honestly.
I need Jared Leto's societal commentary as the Joker. And also, speaking of Idris Elba, in
Yeah.
the MCU, another one, is teasing that Heimdall is still alive. So in GOG 3, we might get Heimdall, the
So excited.
boy.
Yeah.
And then just one more, just because we just had this. This is what we're going to close it out with because we were
Yeah.
talking about Flula Borg, the DJ. Apparently dropped the track just 19 minutes ago. Reggie Watts and Ivan and Peter, Flula Borg track based on Javelin. So everyone go listen to that. Get
jeez.
get funky.
Also, I need you to see this photo of the behind the scenes because they said the shooting of like the giant starfish scene was the hardest because it took like multiple days. The weather
like
was bad.
months,
The weather
right?
wasn't good.
Yeah.
It took so long because of the weather and the heat and everything like that. And they're in costume. The one thing that stuck out to me was the guy who plays King Shark.
Wait, hang on.
So the king that... No, I'm not going to say it. I don't know. I don't care how much you want me to say.
No, but like, who do you mean by the guy who plays him?
So, no, it's not Sylvester Stallone. We didn't mention that, but it's not Sylvester Stallone. So the guy, Steve Agee.
Oh, you mean like the guy who stands in?
Yeah,
as,
the
like,
guy who's like the
okay.
real guy. I need you to see what it looks like when they're filming it in the heat, because his getup is incredible for playing it. And
I thought you were like the guy who plays.
No,
name
I'm
is
not.
Sylvester
You ever heard of this guy?
Stallone.
He's an up-and-comer, Sylvester Stallone. Yeah.
So everyone look up that picture when he's gonna show it to
it's
me.
on James Gunn's Instagram. I just love the gear that they have on his head for King Shark because it's hilarious looking.
Oh yeah,
It really is.
oh yeah.
And to have to wear that for like a month straight would be unbelievable.
Oh, that would suck. Yeah, I got it. Up here.
Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that thing.
That would suck to wear for a month, but that is.
It's like wearing an LED sign on your head for a month and a half.
that would suck. All right, so that was, I think, a successful and fun first new format. We're gonna be coming at you next week. We'll see. We'll see what we'll do. We'll probably, honestly, I like doing this new movie stuff. I like talking about these new releases. Now that we actually have new releases to talk about, so the news, we're gonna stick to more of the comedy realm. Probably, we're gonna be more into that. But in terms of the movies that we're gonna review, it's probably gonna be all over the map. And new movies nowadays, like we said, we love the action stuff. We love the comic book stuff. So they normally have some humor in them. Some stuff to laugh at. They're entertaining. They fit.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to the rest of it. We're happy to be back. That's all I got to say.
We are. I'm happy we're here. Sorry about the 2 weeks, but, miscommunication on our end.
Let's blame Winnie, everyone. Everyone comment.
Blame me.
That was your fault, Winnie.
Kevin was on his honeymoon. We didn't have the audio from one of our sides, and it was my fault. It was actually all my fault.
It does not matter at all. We're back, and hopefully the people are enjoying it. So maybe they could have used a break from us, and they're like, okay, we'll listen to
Nice
this guy.
reset. Yeah,
So
palate cleanser. It's
have
like
been
that
reset.
sherbet at the end of the fucking meal.
There you go.
I've never actually had that. I think it's a myth. I don't even...
No, it's before. I'm not even going to say it. So
okay.
We will talk to you at the next episode. I'm
Goes
Kevin.
on one honeymoon and knows what sherbet palate cleansing is.
I did not have any of that on the honeymoon.
Ton of beer. All right. I'm good.
I'm
I'm Woody. I'm
Jeez.
Woody.
And
No.
we'll see you at the next episode.
Nah way.
No.
Nah way.
Dude, so what even is his name anyways?
I don't know.